Welcome back to Miami and welcome to qualifying. Only raw speed will separate these drivers today, but the question is, who's got what it takes to get pole?
All right, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Here are the top 5 cars as things stand. The fastest lap at the moment, 1 minute 25.4. Antonelli, Piastri, Behrman, Leclerc and Verstappen. I'm afraid we've dropped to P22.
And that's it for sprint qualifying. Plenty more coming up over the rest of the weekend, so we'll see you all tomorrow. Forget pit stops, forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint. Sitting at the southeastern coast of Florida, the Miami International Autodrome has 19 corners and 3.36 miles of racing. It's a circuit designed to encourage close racing while meeting the highest safety standards. Either way, I'm sure it's one that will please the fans. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position. And Andrea Kimi Antonelli completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Piastri, Behrman, Charles Leclerc and Verstappen. Norris, Albon, Aaron, Pierce, Coulthard, Webber, Esteban Ocon, and for sure, Pepe Marti, Gasly, David Tonizza, and Lance Stroll. Crawford, Sonoda, Doohan, and Tim Tramnitz rounds off the grid. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out. And alongside me in the commentary box today, a man who I always look up to, which is easier said than done, Anthony Davidson. Well, they say that a change is as good as a rest, and whilst there's not much rest on show in the sprint format today, there's definitely a change to what we're usually seeing on the track. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd, and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, you know, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Okay, radio check, radio check.
Radio check.
Okay, mate, I know it's tough in there, it's hot in that cockpit, but your tyres are even hotter, so you're going to have to work extra hard to keep them cool. It matters for performance. Yes, mate, I'll take that. Well done. We're really happy with the podium down here, so well done. Yes!
Oh my goodness gracious.
So with the sprint concluded, join us next time for qualifying and, of course, the main event, this weekend's Formula One Grand Prix. We'll see you next time. Welcome back to Miami and welcome to qualifying. Only raw speed will separate these drivers today, but the question is, who's got what it takes to get pole?
Okay, let's have a comms check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Fantastic, you've got pole position.
Great job. There were some nice laps. I really enjoyed that.
Welcome to the Miami International Autodrome, home of the Miami Grand Prix. This exciting track circumnavigates the Hard Rock Stadium, home to the National Football League outfit, the Miami Dolphins. A lap of the Miami Grand Prix features 3.36 miles of track around the Hard Rock Stadium, and 19 corners make up the Miami International Autodrome, which will challenge the drivers in a tight wheel-to-wheel race. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, and Kimi Antonelli completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Piastri, Behrman, Max Verstappen and Albon, Tsunoda, Aaron, Pierce and Mark Webber, Leclerc, Ocon, Lando Norris and Crawford, Coulthard, Verschoor, Jack Doohan and Pepe Marti, Stroll, Gasly, Tanitsa and Tim Tramnitz rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. And alongside me here today in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. And let's talk momentum with this driver. What a sprint it was. They start at 0 once again for today, but with a huge amount of confidence, surely. Well, they'll definitely be glad that there's not a sprint race today. Let's face it, the sprint couldn't have gone much worse, but what we're looking for today is a reaction. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Okay, radio check, radio check.
Radio check.
Right, mate, I know it's hot in that cockpit, believe me, but your tyres are even hotter than that. You've got to work really hard today to keep them cool, otherwise we're going to suffer with our performance. Okay, DRS is now available. We're going to box this lap and push hard on the in-lap.
Yeah, that I agree.
Gap to your teammate behind, 12.2 seconds. And we've got 16 laps of fuel left. 16 laps. Okay, pit in this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach. Let's go, come on! That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Max is in the pits. Max in the pits. Tyre condition still looking good. Max is coming in for his stop. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 18.6 seconds. Okay, red flag, mate, red flag. No overtaking, please. We'll see you in the pit lane. Right, this is a good chance to change our strategy for the rest of the Grand Prix if we want to. Like deja vu here, but there's a good opportunity to get this start spot on. Come on. DRS has been enabled. DRS is now enabled. That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done. Okay, mate, this is the final lap of the race. Final lap. Absolutely awesome. Just amazing, mate. Well done.
Yeah, there we go. What a...
Here's the checkered flag. Here's our winner. By George, he's done it. Russell wins.
They led from lights out to the flag at the end, and their race victory was never in doubt, was it? Brilliant stuff by them.
We had drama from start to finish, but in the end, there was only ever one that could take that top spot. By George, he was good today. The top step awaits for George Russell. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
Okay, boss. Advanced talks have gone well, I must say. We're now at the stage where we can meet face-to-face again with them if you'd like. The agenda today will be trying to reduce some of their expectations to cut a better deal for us. And, of course, we can always delay. Getting close to an alignment with their side now. There's still a long way to go, and obviously, before we sign anything, we need to iron out the details. We still haven't begun formal contract talks. Still just preliminary discussion. I don't want to jinx it, so I'll let you know what happens.
Hey, me again. Got another question for you.
Hey, Chief. Just a reminder to kick off some research projects. We don't want to fall behind our rivals, and we haven't got anything in the pipeline at the moment. Thanks.